Hi, I'm Mrs. Hunter and I'm going to be telling you what's coming up after the break. We're going to be learning lots of things this term across the curriculum. For example, we're going to be learning about the Great Fire of London in history. We will be looking at buildings within our local area for DT. In geography this term, we're going to be looking at what it's like living on a Scottish island compared to where we live. And in art, we're going to be designing our own clay tile and looking at different buildings also. In Year 2 at the moment, the teachers are always going on about super sentences in writing, so I'm going to show you exactly what we mean. Here is an example of a simple sentence. Jack climbed up the beanstalk. First, we'd be asking the children to try and add in an adjective, so they might choose to describe the beanstalk. So they might say, Jack climbed up the large beanstalk. Next, we'd be asking the children to try and add in an adverb. So in this sentence, we would probably be describing how Jack climbs up the beanstalk. So he might carefully climb up. So Jack climbed carefully up the large beanstalk. In order to make the sentence even more interesting, children should then be using connectives. So, for example, in this sentence, they might say, Jack climbed carefully up the large beanstalk because he wanted to see what was at the top. Or you could use other connectives. You could say, Jack climbed carefully up the large beanstalk as he was very hungry. We always put a comma before we do our connective. Children in Year 2 all understand what these features do in order to make a sentence more interesting. Sometimes as well, we may also use different words for them at the beginning of a sentence, if it makes sense, and when necessary. Thanks for listening. You can also watch Mrs. Walters, Miss Sked and Miss Corcoran-Jones's podcasts to tell you about how to use mini laptops, working with maths and also reading.